food in your bedroom with your boyfriend and eat it while they sit outside hungry?
Never. Not while they were
Because they say
hungry,
you did,
no.
so they're lying about that.
I don't see why they wouldn't have been eating. I mean, why wouldn't they have been eating?
Well, you're their mother, you tell me? Now, according to Dustin, Chance, and Nova, their mother partied with strangers in the house, had Dustin care for his siblings, and we're talking when he's a teenager. Now, you say she disappeared for 1 to 2 months at a time?
Yes. She told me one day that she had to go to jail for something that she did. And then I guess the story that she told my brother and sister was that she had to have some kind of operation. But she was gone, and I didn't question anything about it. I went to live with my aunt, who was in her late 80s, early 90s at the time.
And you're how old?
I was probably 16.
Okay, so you think she's in jail, y'all think she's having an operation?
Yeah.
For 2 months?
Yep.
That's a big operation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She met someone online and wanted to go visit him.
So she took off with a guy?
Yeah.
To Washington.
Okay, now, we talked about locking you guys out of the house.
Yeah.
What happened? She's in the house.
She was in the house. So Chance and I had come home from our father's house, and we had recently had a conversation with her about how we felt as though we were better off living with our father. So when we had come home to go back into the house, we were locked out, and we were told, Sonia said, you're not welcome in the home.
Okay, and you were 13, 14 at the time, right?
Yep.
Okay, and we're talking winter in Ohio, right?
Yes,
So it's cold.
it was cold.
What did you think when you come home and you're locked out of your house?
It was initially a huge shock because all you could think is, what did we do in order for her to not want us in our home?
Now, when you got inside the home, what was it like inside the home? Because I understand the conditions were not pristine.
Conditions of the house, I mean, you would walk up on the porch and you could see roaches running across the porch. You open up the refrigerator, there were roaches in the refrigerator. I don't believe the stove worked because it was full of bugs.
What would you do for food?
We just waited until we got to school and ate there.
At school or friends' houses. Or, I spent a lot of time with friends.
There was times where my friends' parents would go to the grocery store and bring us food to the house because they knew we just didn't have any.
Okay, now you said you had to sneak food into the house in order for them to get it.
Yes.
Because she would hijack it?
Yeah, so I brought food to the house one time and they told me that she had taken the food and hid it in a room. So then after that I decided, okay, I'm going to sneak the food in the house so that at least I know that they're getting something so that they can eat somehow.
Because she would come take food from her children's mouths, take it into her bedroom with a boyfriend, and they would chow down while you're out there hungry.
Absolutely.
She's here, by the way, and you haven't spoken to her in 8 years.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go speak to her, but let me tell you guys something. Just know, I don't think of this as a show. I don't think of you being here as being on a television show. I think this is you coming here with a situation in your life that I can use as a teaching tool to create teachable moments in America, because there are families like yours watching right now that are saying, okay, what's he going to say to these kids to make them adjust to this better? What's he going to say to this mother to wake her up? So to me, there's nothing show about this. This is just me doing what I think needs to be done. So I'm going to go back and talk to her. I'm going to tell you why, because I don't want her out here yet. Because to be honest with you, she, in my opinion, based on all the research that I've done, and I've been through like a 250-page notebook about this situation, and she needs to earn the right to sit with these children. She needs to earn the right to sit with these children. So the next thing that's going to happen is I'm going to go backstage and talk to Sonia and find out what she really says happened 8 years ago when her children claimed she packed up, took off, and just left them behind. You come here, you better be prepared to tell me the truth or do not come here. Either tell me the truth or stay your ass home, one of the two.
When my kids were younger, I was a good mom. Even if I had to work 2 or 3 jobs, I did provide for my children. Back then, they had pretty much everything they wanted. They did have all the clothing that they needed. They had food all the time. I did the best I could. I fought hard.
When did things start to change?
I have to say this, bad men in my life. I kept choosing these abusive men. That's a huge, huge thing.
Nova had mentioned that she and Chance not being able to get into the house. Do you recall this incident?
I didn't know that was going on. I didn't know anything about that. No. Then I started getting incredibly sick. I felt like I was gonna die. In 2012, they found a brain tumor. When I told Nova about what was going on with me medically, she was nonchalant. It's like, really, Mom? I was hurt. When all this stuff was happening, my children were nowhere to be found. It did feel like they had abandoned me. I do want my children to know that I am very much a different person. Spiritually, I'm with Jesus. I've never been so good with God as I am now. Nothing is impossible with God. I'm hoping that we can find some healing.
Certainly a different story than her children are saying, so let's sit down and talk to her.
Hi.
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 Sonia, Dr. Phil.
Hi.
How are
nice
you?
to meet you. Fine, thank you.
I wanted to talk to you before we go out to visit with the kids. Why haven't you spoken to Dustin and Chance in almost 8 years?
Um,
And
they're
over 3
angry.
years.
They're angry with me. I know they're angry with me.
Oh, yeah. But why haven't you talked to him in 8 years and 3 years for Nova?
I was a bad alcoholic, a horrible alcoholic. I made horrible choices, and alcohol was my God.
At one point you said you had a brain tumor. Then you say you were sick. And then you say you didn't know God. Then so
Everything.
What is it? Did you have a brain tumor?
It's everything.
What happened to the brain tumor?
I have a pituitary tumor.
But you told your kids that you had a brain tumor and it was going to kill you.
That's what I was told. If I didn't take care of it, it could kill me.
Well, I've looked at your medical records, and it says they're negative for having a mass, that you had a growth on your pituitary, which was not malignant, didn't
it's not
require
malignant.
surgery, and it was certainly not life-threatening in any way whatsoever.
What was causing the major problems with my health was the side effects from everything that was going on. When I was in Springfield, this was horrible.
Now, don't just respond to my questions
Okay.
here. And I'm sorry to cut you off. I don't mean to be rude, but I do
Right.
mean to be focused.
Right.
Your kids tell me that you locked them out of the house when they were 13, 14 years of age.
No.
In the cold, in Ohio, locked them out of the house, told them they were not welcome there.
Not ever. I would have never done
That
that
if
to
they
my
got
children.
inside the house, that it was overrun with cockroaches, there was no food, and if there was food, you would take the food into your bedroom with your boyfriend and eat it while they sat outside the
roaches
door
got
hungry.
terrible.
Did you take food in your bedroom with your boyfriend and eat it while they sat outside hungry?
Never. Not while
Because
they
they
were
say
hungry.
you did.
No. No.
What do you mean not while they were hungry?
No. I would eat in my bedroom, but they would be eating too. No. We would all be eating at the same time.
So they're lying about that.
I don't see why they wouldn't have been eating. I mean, why wouldn't they have been eating?
Well, you're their mother, you tell me. Dustin took custody of these children when he was 18.
I gave him custody.
Why would you let an 18-year-old child raise your children that are 13 and 14? You're their mother.
Well, I talked to their father about it, and I wasn't capable of taking care of him anymore.
I've been through your whole history here, your whole medical history, and all the things. You said you've had 8 strokes. The evidence is that you've had 3 events that could be considered neurological disruption. Fortunately, you've not
That's
had
not what
paralysis.
I was being told, but I was hoping that you could clear
Well,
some
that's
of
what's
this
in.
up
Well,
for me.
I am clearing it up. I have your records here.
Yeah.
All I can go is on what you've provided here. My specialty, when I practiced in clinical psychology, my focus was on brain and central nervous system. So I'm very conversant about this. And there's nothing here that suggests that you were rendered to a point where you didn't know right or wrong.
I did horribly bad things, and I know that. You know, I'm not in denial of that, and I've tried to apologize to the kids, and, you know, I don't know everything I
Do
did.
you really try to apologize, or do you try to deflect and I don't remember?
A lot of it I don't
yeah,
remember.
You
And
don't
why
ever
don't I
really
remember a lot of
own
this stuff?
it is the problem.
Why don't I remember a lot of this stuff? That's what I want to know.
You do remember leaving for a couple of months, right? And going to Washington?
Washington. When did I do that? Where did I go?
You tell me. You told one of your children that you were going to jail. You told the other 2 that you were having an operation.
I did go to jail for a while, but
For what?
it was a driving citation.
Well, Noah says after they were locked out of the house that you moved away and didn't tell anyone where you were going.
You're talking about when I went to the shelter, or
She had to live out of a duffel bag. You moved, left no forwarding address, children behind, and she's having to live out of a duffel bag.
No, I had to go. I went to their school and told them. I mean, the school could even tell you. So, I mean, as far as you're talking about with that, I have no idea what we're talking about.
Well, they seem very clear that that there were times growing up that you just disappeared.
I probably did. I was a really bad drinker. So I probably did.
And so you just went to a shelter?
I was in a homeless shelter for almost 9 months.
Okay, and where were your children?
They were with Dustin, and they went with their dad. So, I thought it was safer than the shelter because I'd heard
Well, they're
a
all
lot
saying
of bad
no,
things
no,
about
no,
it.
no, no, that did not happen. That's not what happened.
That's not what I was told.
Well, what do you mean what you were told? You were there. See, this is the reason we're here and not out there right now,
Okay.
because you're either going to be straight up honest
Yeah, I am.
with these kids,
That's
or
not-
you're just going to be slapping them in the face again. They want you to own what you have to own. I don't want you to agree to anything that isn't true, but they want you to own what you have to own.
Well, I want to own what I
Do
have
you
to
want them
own.
back in your life?
Yes, and I want to own what I have to own. And that's part of not just, rectifying myself with them, it's part of rectifying myself with God. I want to own everything I have to own. And I've been trying to do that for years. But the problem is that some of this stuff, I don't even know what you're talking about. That's the problem, Dr. Phil.
Okay, look, I'm going to give you another opportunity to tell the truth. We're going to have a bit of a face-off.
My mother made very bad choices with the men that she brought into our lives.
Sonia put us after any man that she was with at the time. For instance, locking herself in her bedroom with him and ignoring us.
My mother was dating plenty of men, and I would say that her love life was like a revolving door, but that would imply that only one man was coming in at a time, and that's a lie.
Take a look at this picture. In this picture, you're like 18?
Yeah.
And you're 13, 14?
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me what your life is like at this point.
Here, even though we look as though it was hard. It was hard to be children and be encountering the things that we were encountering. I mean, the things that we had, we didn't have because of Sonia. We had them because Dustin went out of his way. And I don't know if you can tell, but in that picture of Dustin, he was in his work uniform.
Right.
He was always working to make sure that Chance and I had everything that we needed.
So what do you remember about your feelings during this time?
And I remember just like my day would start out with me getting up, getting over and Chance to school, and then I go to school full time, get off at like 5 o'clock, go to work one job, and then get out of that at 7, and then work until midnight, and then come home and do homework. At that time, I was angry, very angry, because
Very angry.
I should have. I had Pell Grants and I had scholarships for my grades. I did very well in school, and I should have had a free ride through college, and I had to take out all the loans I possibly could to help pay the bills and get them beds and clothes, and I was just angry.
So what do you think about what you just heard me talking to her about?
I think it's amazing you managed to get her to say anything bad about herself.
A lot of this stuff she was saying, gee, I didn't know, that didn't happen, all of this. You're not buying that.
No.
It's very
Absolutely
convenient
not.
to forget that
Well,
much
the
about
funny-
what you did wrong.
The funny thing is that she always told us she didn't know because of the brain tumor, and now that we know that there's no brain tumor, really hard to figure out what's the truth.
Well, I have a way of trying to keep people contained. And when she started going through all of this, well, I don't know, my mind was out here. That's why I said, is there any time you didn't know the difference between right and wrong? She has trouble evading that, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you what I want you guys to do right now. I want you to just line up right here, because, I've always been real keen on experiential psychology. And so I want her to have some real feedback. Come on out, Sonia. You're right there. Come on out. I would like for you to stand right here on this stripe.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay? Because here's what we're going to do. I want you to say to these three what you want to say to them to have them in your life. And here's how you can tell whether what you're doing is working or not. Okay? Because as you listen to her, if she says something that causes you to believe she's getting real, you can take a step forward. If she says something that makes you think she's being honest and you want to close that gap, you can take another step forward. If she's feeding you a bunch of bull and you don't believe it, then I left plenty of room for you to start taking a step back. Okay? Now, you don't get to move. You want them in your life.
Yes.
They think you abandoned them, abused them, neglected them, and put them last and yourself first. So what do you have to say to make them want to close this gap?
Yeah. I was awful. I was horrible. My moral compass was way off. And one of the hugest things that I regret was not raising you in a Christian home. And I drank and drank and drank. God, alcohol, when you guys... alcohol was more important to me than anything else. I had, bad choice in men. And yes,
I agree with that one, buddy.
To this day, I don't fully understand why I was like that, but I regret it more than anything.
Let me ask you a question. When I started getting a hold of my aunts, your aunts, why did you tell them that we were bad children? And the reason why we didn't talk to you is because we were just bad people. Because I have several messages that the Dr. Phil show has of you saying such things
Yeah,
to
I
me.
probably did, but I'm just like,
Why?
I was probably angry.
You were there. What do you mean you were probably
probably
angry? You're not
angry.
talking about somebody else. You're talking about you. Be real with them, or they're going to be going through that hallway over there.
I was probably, I don't remember doing that. I'm going to be honest, I really don't remember
be
doing
honest.
that. I really don't remember doing that. And I mean, I really don't. I know I did, because you have it. You have it. It's there.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, so I don't have any memory of it. I know that I felt abandoned because for so many years you guys were gone, and I went through a lot of stuff.
You say that you felt abandoned. You realize that there were years that me as a female, I did not have my mother in my life. Do you know how important that is?
I wanted to be there.
Why weren't you?
You don't understand. I wanted to be there.
What Nova's talking about here is the times that you weren't there. She's living out of a duffel bag with one change of clothes.
Oh my God. Okay, I don't understand what happened there. Right there.
I do not know.
She went to school and people called her the girl that smelled funny because she lived out of a duffel bag and everything she owned was in that bag.
I told you guys that we moved to Springmont.
Let me tell you another thing. After
How did you guys not know that we moved to
Let me
Springmont?
talk. You're not talking over me.
Sorry.
So, our entire lives have been paying for your mistakes. And the reason why I wrote to the show is because when we were younger, you alienated me from every single person that I could have possibly had a connection with. My dad, supposedly. I didn't have contact with our aunts or anybody. I didn't know anybody else existed. I thought that their dad was my dad, and you kept me from going over there because all of a sudden I had a different dad. When you were left, I was by myself. Where did you go when you left for several months? Nova and Chance went to their dads. I went to stay with our aunt. Where did you go?
Dr. Phil said something. Was that when I was in jail?
This isn't what Dr. Phil said. This is what
No,
he
what
told
were
you.
you told me
Here's the
what were
thing.
you
You told me you were in
Is
jail.
that what you were talking about,
Yeah,
the same
yeah,
thing?
yeah. That's exactly
Okay.
what I'm talking. You told me you were in jail. You told them that you had an operation that you had to go. So what's the truth?
What are you talking about? I'm confused. No, really, I'm confused.
You told him his father.
Yeah. For a long time, I thought his
Did
father
you
was
think
dead.
you might want to verify that before you tell the son that his father is? You told us you said that because you didn't want him to grow up around a liar.
Oh, no. Afterwards, I did not want him to grow up with him. That is the truth.
All right, we're going to take a break here. Have you noticed that you're losing them?
Yeah, I do, but I have to be honest, Dr. Phil.
Yeah, you do. You have to be honest.
I have to be honest.
And you ought to be asking some questions, and you're not. We'll be right back. Not only have you done what you have done in their lives, violate their self-esteem, abandon them in, not only have you done that to them then, you are doing it again today. My advice to you is you ought to be asking these people questions about what do you need to hear from me in order for us to build a bridge to having a relationship. Because not only have you done what you have done in their lives, which is to violate their self-esteem, violate their self-worth, abandon them in their lives, leave them twisting in the wind, wondering, why am I not good enough for my own mother to be there and care enough for me? Not only have you done that to them then, you are doing it again today. So you are invalidating them again today by saying, this isn't true. You weren't cold in the winter in Ohio with the door locked. That's just not right. I don't remember that. Well, because you don't remember, let me tell you, they remember it standing in the cold. I'll guarantee you they remember it standing in the cold. He remembers working 2 and 3 jobs and feeding your children because you weren't. What you ought to be doing is asking that young man right there, what do I have to do to earn the right to be in your life in some way? Are you curious at all about that?
Yes. Can I say it in my own words?
You can say anything you want because you're running out of time. Because in just a minute, I'm getting ready to excuse you and start talking to them about what they have to do to accept the fact that you are an environmental non-event.
I am doing what I can to, and everything I can to, and I have, to redeem myself with Jesus Christ and to rectify any actions that I have made.
So you can redeem yourself with Jesus Christ, but not us?
No, you don't understand. You don't understand. When I did that, when I walked into that church and realized all of the hurtful and awful things that I'd done to people around me.
I think that when you walked into that church, it was just another way for somebody to support you. And you did what you had to do.
You have to hear the word of God. You have to hear the word of God and hear the horrible things that you do. I'm a liar. I'm an adulterer. I'm a thief.
Are we still stepping forward?
I am.
Yeah, we can still
whatever.
you
Are we still
You
stepping
step
forward? Because if we are, I
backwards.
should probably take a couple for
Right.
those.
I take full responsibility for all that because that's who I was.
But you don't take full responsibility
You know?
of it. You blame it on everybody else.
What can I do to redeem myself with you guys? But yes, that was
I don't
terrible.
know if there's a way that I could ever
Do
forgive
you want an
you.
honest answer?
Right.
You can't. You could say anything. I wouldn't believe it. I haven't heard a single truth from you in person in over 10 years.
If I were you, I would be saying, Chance, I have hurt you, I have abandoned you,
Yeah.
I have violated
That's the
your
truth.
trust.
It's
There
the
is no
truth.
reason that you should believe me. But tell
Yeah.
me, is there anything I can do to make you know that I love you and I'm sorry. That's what I would be saying if I were you. But I said that to you and it went in one ear and right out the other and you started talking about Jesus.
That's been in my heart. That has been in my heart for years.
Well, put it in your mouth.
Okay, say it.
Put it
I
in your
love you
mouth.
guys. There has not been 1 minute of 1 hour of any day that I have not thought about you guys since we have not been apart. I was a terrible mother.
Hold on.
And
So,
You
were
know
your
what's
own
bad?
God.
Is that you loved yourself so much, we still to this day don't know how to love ourselves.
Look your daughter in the eye right now and ask her, what do you need from me right now to begin a journey back together?
what do you need from me, Nova? You know, I know that I was terrible, but I would love to be
Okay,
in your
stop right
guys'
there.
life. Yeah.
What I need for you is to stop making everything about you. Because you have not. You've reached out. You have. But I moved on from having you in my life because every conversation was me. Stop. Stop making everything about you because it's not. You have children. It's about us, not you.
So what can I do, Dustin? You know, I love you guys and I'm trying.
I honestly don't know if there's anything that I can do to let you into my life,
so
especially because
sorry.
I have a family. And
So sorry.
I have a daughter, and I'm happy.
You don't understand how angry I am at myself.
See, the funny thing about facts is you don't have to believe them. They happened.
I'm sorry, Chance. I love you guys. And I'm doing everything I can to say I'm so sorry for my behavior. I was awful. I was in no way, shape, or form fit to be a mother when I had you guys.
You have a letter in your pocket. It's brief. Would you take it out and read it to her, please?
Mom, over the years, you've missed almost every important thing that has to do with me. You've forgotten my birthday countless years, and only to mention it days later, you missed every single dance I ever had while I was in high school. You even missed my college graduation ceremony.
Yeah, I couldn't go to your college because I think that we weren't talking.
Please. Please, just this is a time to listen.
Yeah.
I wonder what it would have been like to have called you and let you know about the fight that my best friend and I had got into that ruined our friendship. For days, I laid in my bed broken, wishing I had somebody around to hold me and remind me that not everyone is meant to stay in your life, and that someone was you. You missed a lot, Sonia, and you missed watching me grow into the woman that I am.
Chance?
To put things in perspective, it wouldn't be false to say that you don't even know who we are anymore. But that's okay. We have grown past you, or at least I have. And the right to call yourself our mother was slaughtered by your selfishness. Sonia, you have only the right to live with your life, knowing what you did to us for your own instant self-gratification. And that is only because I have no right to say whether you have a right to live.
Let me say something to the three of you, and she is in the back row up here. I haven't sent her away. She's in the back row up here. Here's the problem. There's one thing emotionally, psychologically, functionally that people don't know how to fake, don't know how to mimic, and that's empathy. All three of you talked about some very difficult and painful times in your life, and I didn't see any empathetic connection with her at all. She didn't share that pain with you. It didn't hurt her that you were hurting. Robin and I have two boys, and if either one of our boys had been hungry, abandoned, or locked out of the house and couldn't get in for even a day, I would be sick to my stomach. But she had no connection to that whatsoever. There's no empathy. And she needs serious help with that. And I would tell you to guard very closely against letting her have access to your life until she gets that kind of help, because I think she would violate it. And the truth is, not everyone you lose is a loss. And you can't lose what you didn't have. So what do you do instead? What do you do with those feelings? And I'm going to tell you what I think you need to do. People learn about themselves by watching what they do. You've watched what you did under pressure. When the pressure was on, you manned up, you stepped up, you filled the gap for these two.
Thank you, Pat.
I'm proud of you for doing. And you two should watch what you've done and say, you know, I've come through this, and by God, I'm still here. And I'll be damned if I will be controlled by the dysfunction of my upbringing. I will not allow that to bring me down. What I want you to do is one thing for me, and I want you to think about it. I want you to really think about forgiveness. And if you harbor bitterness and anger and animosity towards someone, it colors your heart. You can't go through life looking over your shoulder, or your past becomes your future. And I just want you to think about this. I'm going to have tips for forgiveness on my website, but let me tell you, it's not a feeling that washes over you in a wave. It is a choice. And, you know, Sonia, I'm going to get you some help.
Thank you.
And I really hope you will watch this show back. You know, I do a podcast now where I interview different people where I don't have to solve a particular problem. I just get to talk to interesting people about interesting things. And I'm actually talking to Kathy Bates, who is my favorite actor in the whole history of the world. And it's interesting, I didn't know this about her, but she was saying, I study the Dr. Phil show. I study it to do the roles that I do in my career, and I have for 20 years. In fact, here's what she said about that.
For example, now I'm working on American Horror Story, and like I said, I'm notating my scripts. And you've talked about this with your shows, with your guests sometimes, when you say go back and see the show again or another time, because things reveal themselves to you. When you read, when you look at something, you're a different person in that moment than you were in, you know, the present.
And Sonia, that's what I want you to do. Hopefully you will see something that will awaken something in you that you can use with the help that I'm going to arrange for you.
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to make help available to each one of you as well. If you need help letting go, if you need help forgiving, then I'm going to make this help available to 3 of you, whether you need it now, you want it later, whenever you want it. All you have to do is tell us, and we'll make it available to you like that, because you've earned it and you deserve it, and it is my honor to make it available to you.
So this woman, Sonia, is a terrible mother. She is guilty of neglecting her kids, abandoning her kids, abusing her kids, because neglect is abuse. It is so interesting how little responsibility she wants to take for the choices that she made, because she's clearly very narcissistic, and so all of this is about her. Just like her kids said, stop making this about you, but she can't, because that's who matters to her the most. Dr. Phil was right when he says that you can't fake empathy, and she couldn't fake it either. I didn't see one sign of any ounce of empathy for her own children. She only seems to have empathy for herself. Many of you know that my mother is a narcissist, and we've been no contact for several years now. And my mother also can't fake empathy, and everything is also about her. So just watching Sonia reminded me of so many things in my own life. I think that these kids are right to cut her out of their lives. I don't expect her to change. I haven't seen it with this type of narcissistic mentality before. I haven't seen real change occur. And it's kind of difficult for real change to happen if there's no empathy there. She doesn't seem to care that much that her daughter lived out of a duffel bag and was mocked in school for not being able to take showers consistently. She doesn't care that her kids went hungry, that they didn't know where their mother was. All she thinks about is herself. Honestly, I am so disgusted with this woman, and I think her children are too. Whether or not they are going to be able to forgive her, I have no idea. I still have not fully forgiven my mother. And whether or not I do will be my choice, and it'll happen on my own timeline. So it'll have to be the case for them as well, whether or not they choose to forgive her. But what did you guys think about this one? What did you think about this mom, Sonia? Do you think she's a narcissist? I do. Do you think her kids should allow her back into their lives? Do you think they should develop a relationship with her now? Do you think she even cares about having them in her life? She says that she wants them in her life, but does she behave as though she wants them in her life? This is not the emotional response of someone who desperately wants her children around. She didn't even seem to take that episode seriously. But you guys let me know what you think about this and what should happen. Drop it in the comments.